Hello, my divalicious darlings, and welcome to another fantabulous episode of with me, your host. Today's guests are fantastic, talented, and stunning, and some of my best friends in the world. Please welcome the stars of the Turning Purple podcast, Erickatoure, Aviance, and Adam Joseph. Yay, it's just me here clapping for you because COVID. Hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen. Hi, everyone. I mean, nobody.
Exactly. Now, you guys disappeared from the set of Hey Qween, and the comment section was ablaze.
Oh, my God.
Where's Adam and Erica? Were they fired? Did y'all have a fight? That is not the case, everybody.
No.
Now, if you know, of course, Adam and Erica were our sister friends, our band leaders, and many other things until you up and left me and moved to Arizona.
Yeah. Yes, we did. I mean, it broke my heart to leave you, my darling. But, you know, sometimes life just happens, and you got to go with where it takes you. I, myself, needed, I was working all the time, like day style, as you recall, with a friend of mine, building business. We had a falling out. It became dramatic, so I needed a change of scenery, I guess. That's why I moved, and I have family there. I have a new nephew there in Phoenix, where we moved to. So that's where we ended up going, and Adam here.
It's kind of funny.
Why did you come
We both
with me?
came to LA we both moved to LA from different places at the same time without even planning it.
Yeah.
And then we both kind of
Like
decided
at
that
exactly the same time.
We wanted to leave LA at the same time for different reasons. I was here and I was having a great time being able to do Hey Qween, but I didn't really have anything else holding me here, and I was just touring a lot. And so I decided that it would make more sense for me to go somewhere where I could be a little bit more financially comfortable.
There you go. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
And so I found that I said, I'll give Phoenix a try because Erica was headed there. So I said, I'll give it a try. And, it turns out that it's been really great.
And it was that move to Phoenix that got you guys started on your new exciting project, which we will discuss in The Tea. The Tea. The new project you guys are doing is my personal favorite new podcast to listen to, which is a podcast called Turning Purple, which is named Turning Purple, not just because you both look stunning in purple.
We do.
Because you actually do.
I love purple.
But tell us the reason why it's called Turning Purple.
Turning Purple, we were interested in, we moved to a red state, and in this country there are two teams. There's a red team and a blue team. And primarily, we're on the blue team. And we're moving to a red state. So when you mix red and blue, it makes purple. And there's also kind of a trend, it seems, of a lot of people moving away from big cities that might not necessarily share anymore. Like, they moved away from wherever they were from to be themselves and sort of live a more inclusive lifestyle, and then, maybe found that they could no longer afford to live in the large cities in which they grew to be themselves. So there's a kind of a trend of people moving back to maybe where they originated, which probably a little more red, a little more conservative. So that's where that came from.
When we were discussing what we wanted to do the podcast about, Erica had said, we're moving from blue state to a red state and turning purple, and that really stuck in my head. And then when we were trying to figure out what to actually call the podcast, I said, what about Turning Purple? Is that a thing? Like, did you make that up?
No, I didn't make it up.
She did not make it up. But I had never even heard that term before. So I thought it sounded cool, and it really kind of encapsulated what we wanted to talk about.
One of the things that we wanted to talk about in the podcast, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all gay-ass, crazy-looking people moving to Arizona was not something that I expected.
No, it wasn't something that we expected.
Because the two of you are kind of a big deal. I mean, Adam, you just recently released an officially sanctioned World of Wonder RuPaul production with the Remix album that you did, where all the amazing bitch tracks that you've been creating. Congratulations. Studio audience is going crazy if they were here, but just me and Erica for you. Small claps. You know, all of your illegal bootleg remixes, you finally have officially sanctioned and were released on iTunes. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was really exciting. It even got a chance to chart on iTunes because it was actually legally released, so that was exciting. Yeah, it was great because I was kind of doing all these as they were happening, and I was, you know, it would be on TV, and then I would do something with it and put it out the next week. But then I got to put them all together and present it as kind of its own album. So it's really cool, really fun.
And Erica, of course, the internet knows you as not only a member of Team Pimp from all of our videos back in the day, but your legendary, iconic My Pumps track.
Yeah, it's been a while since that happened, but it was like it's definitely one of the highlights, if not the highlight of my life, was putting out that track, the EP that it was on, and filming that video. And it became successful for a drag artist with no studio behind them, with no no label behind them, to achieve the level of success that it did. You know, at the time was kind of unprecedented. So I'm still extremely proud of it.
So you two look weird and act weird.
Well, that is very true.
And you decided that let's move to a very conservative state where it's very hot. But you jumped in full steam ahead.
We did. Sometimes you just gotta, things happen in life where you just need to like break out of whatever's going on. And I really needed to do that. And it seemed like since I had, like I said before, since I had fam there and a brand new nephew that I wanted to see and be around as, you know, he grows. So maybe that I could be some sort of a wonderful unicorn-like influence, I don't know. That would be nice. You know, sometimes you just have to take the leap. And so we did, and honestly, Phoenix is kind of a place in the red state that's a little more forgiving as far as like weirdos go, I think.
Yeah, there's actually a really fun
there's like a large queer
scene
community
there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of venues. There's a lot of bars. So, you know, I've found opportunities DJing and playing there, performing. We've both found some really cool opportunities to perform there and met some really fun people. And, you know, I'm no stranger to living in random places because I moved to LA from Warsaw, Poland, which is probably like, you know, the last place you would expect a New Yorker to move. But, you know, it's just kind of like you find your people there, and it doesn't really matter where you are. I think that you can, if you're surrounded by the right people, you can thrive.
You guys were in your first year in Phoenix. It was kind of business as usual. Adam, you were still going to Europe. You were performing around the country. Mm-hmm. Erica, you actually kind of got back into drag.
Yes. When I was here, I really made the decision that I was just going to focus on being a day walker. And when I moved, part of the things, you know, a lot of the things that I had, goals that I'd set myself were around drag, like finding who I was as a drag artist again. So I had a lot, and I found some amazing opportunities to do that. And I started performing like more than I have in a very long time, with a group of people that we met, which we both have started to perform with. We started doing a show that has already been running for a long time in Arizona called Dirty Disney.
Which is parodies,
dirty,
very
filthy raunchy,
parodies.
filthy parodies of all of your favorite Disney classics.
Yeah.
I get to be Ursula, which is a childhood dream of mine come true. I couldn't be happier. And the group that we're doing it with is super talented, and it was really, really amazing to step into something that was established, where I could sing, which is something that I love to do, but I don't necessarily always get the opportunity to do live. So I mean, it's just like, the move to Phoenix has been exceptionally broadening for me to reconnect with myself.
So you guys had a really good year in Phoenix, less financial burdens. As one of my favorite drag queens in the world, Erica, made me very happy to see that you were back to getting up in yags, looking stunning, doing shows, singing live. Adam, you know, you were on fire as usual. You guys were doing a lot of great stuff. And then Miss Rona hit, honey. Miss Rona came to town, and you guys were trapped in the house. But it ended up really being kind of a creative renaissance for you guys. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was really great because we were starting to think about this podcast right as this happened. And then we end up not having anywhere, not being able to go anywhere. And so we really just put all that frustration to work and made this podcast happen. And with less distractions, we were really able to focus in and make it happen a lot faster than the year that we had been talking about doing something like that before. So, yeah, I think that it was really good for making the podcast with nothing else happening. We could really just go forward with it and come up with our concepts and just, make it happen.
Now, you guys, of course, are no stranger to podcasting because you've been doing my podcast, The Gayest of All Time, available now on iTunes, since 2006, sweetie. So you've had very good podcasting training.
It was training, really.
Great to see you guys stepping out on your own and really giving us a format which led us into your lives and your personal journey as independent artists. Because that's really the point of Turning Purple, is not just the fact that you're queer people moving to a red state, but also your journey as independent artists who aren't backed by huge studios or big companies, but who continue to produce high quality, incredible queer work. And that you wanted to really dive into that experience and share it with the audience. Erica, tell me about that.
One of the main points of this for me was figuring out, there's a different path. There's different paths for everyone. And sometimes the road is really winding, but it seems like there's a really pervasive attitude of this very narrow vision of what success can look like for an artist, especially for performing artists. There's it seems like there's mostly this very straight line that starts with singular focus, absurd amount of determination, and ends with, the end point is always riches and fame, right? But it's not the path for everyone. And I think for me, I was very much interested in finding out for myself, redefining what success looked like for me, and kind of shining a light on the fact that you can achieve you can achieve something to be proud of outside of this narrative that's very straight line. I think that's kind of what I was really hoping to achieve by doing this podcast.
Hello, children.